Joel Tadman, technical editor of Golf Monthly here. Very excited to be having a hit with the new Callaway Big Bertha Fusion driver here today at a very hot and sunny West Hill Golf Club. Now, this is literally come into the office today. I'm really excited to have a hit with it, and that's because there's a lot of new technology and a lot of new design elements on this Callaway driver that Callaway say make it one of the longest, most forgiving clubs they've ever made. The main thing to talk about is Callaway's use of an aerospace grade titanium which has formed this kind of exoskeleton in the head, and then around that Callaway have used something called triaxial carbon on the crown and on the sole, and Callaway say this is a whopping 67% lighter than titanium and 35% thinner than any composite material they've used in the past. So it really is a groundbreaking development in material that we see here, and it's allowed Callaway to move 35 grams of weight, which is a massive amount when you consider driver design. Normally you were talking 4 or 5 grams here or there, but to save 35 grams of weight means that this club really is optimized in terms of the center of gravity position, which is obviously being moved a lot lower and deeper in the club head, and then of course the MOI, so resistance to twisting, hopefully makes it a lot more stable at impact. Now, the other design changes that are instantly noticeable when you look at this club and put it down behind the ball are the changes that we see on top. You can see it's got the speed step crown design, which was modified for the XR6 Dream driver, so that's designed to boost club head speed by reducing the aerodynamic drag as the air moves over the club head. What you'll notice is how this driver is very unusual shape. It's much more triangular, it's longer from front to back, reminiscent of the FTIZ driver. I don't know if you remember that a few years ago, and also the Titleist 907 D1 driver. Again, triangular in shape, and that shape is going to make the driver much more forgiving. Obviously those drivers were criticised for being not especially fast through the air or aerodynamic, but hopefully with that speed step crown and the modern design, Callaway believe that this driver is going to combine speed and forgiveness and distance. Another way golfers are going to be able to control their drives much easier is through the addition of a 44.5 inch shaft length option. It's something I've been critical of in the past with Callaway drivers, is that stock shaft seems to be too long, and while they might provide most golfers a bit more distance, it makes the drivers a lot more difficult to control and keep on the fairway. So there is a 45.5 inch option as well, but the option of a 44.5 inch shaft should help better players get a little bit more control that they're after. Now, I've been testing this driver here today on the range at West Hill Golf Club. I've just got the standard stiff shaft option here, the Speedo 665 Evolution 2 shaft. So it's the stock stiff shaft. I've got a 10.5 head in -1 degree, so down to 9.5 degree. I mean, the first thing that you notice when you put it down by the ball is the shape. Obviously, it's very different to drivers of today. We've not seen a triangular design like this for a while. I don't mind it, to be honest. You get used to it after a while. It's a little bit different. Some golfers won't like it, but I think once you've hit a few drives with it, you'll soon get past the shape of it. I think it looks quite good with that speed step crown, and the kind of detailing on the back of the this triaxial carbon has almost like a snakeskin pattern on the top. It's very contemporary looking. Graphics are great on the bottom. We've got the traditional Callaway black and red design with a weight port in the back, a 12 gram weight port. Perhaps you can adjust that through a fitting, I'm not sure. When you pick it up and have a few swings, there's no doubt it feels light, it feels really easy to swing. I don't feel like you lose control or awareness of the club head as you hit the ball. It just feels light and effortless to swing, and I think that's going to help a lot of golfers achieve more distance. I've got the 44.5 inch shaft length here, so I was excited to see if I was going to get a Callaway driver that could actually keep on the fairway. In the past I've tested Callaway drivers, I've been very impressed with the distance they offer, and when I catch it they go long and straight, but the overall dispersion I've got from them hasn't quite encouraged me to put one in the bag, but I was hoping this would be the case. So let's have a look at what the data tells us about the performance. Okay, so let's have a look at the numbers from the Callaway Big Bertha Fusion driver. Now, the one we're all going to want to know is distance. So average carry 265. Now that's not too bad. Don't forget, this is not a custom fitted driver for me. It's the shorter shaft length at 44.5 inches. 265 carry is still very healthy for me. I'll take that all day. Spin averaging 2.4. So that's slightly on the high side for me. Probably down to the shaft, I would say. Again, be looking to get that down a little bit, but given the launch angle, 13.7, it's not too bad. It's certainly manageable. But the thing that really stood out for me is the dispersion. Average dispersion, 0.2 yards offline. That's pretty good. We've got a couple here. One that's 22 yards offline. That would probably be in the cabbage. But you've got a couple that are 16 yards offline. That would just be in the semi-rough, or maybe even catch a piece of the fairway. And then the others are very straight indeed. And What I found was that this seemed to be a more accurate driver. Even when I didn't quite catch the middle of the club face, I was surprised at how straight the ball was going, and when I nutted it, it just flew absolutely dead straight down the middle. Really did enjoy the overall performance that it offered, how easy it was to swing, how accurate it was. I'm very impressed with the distance as well. Average carry 265, it's going to be running out to 285, 290. Let's face it, when we're hitting driver, distance helps, but what is more important is getting the ball in the fairway, and I think Callaway's Big Bertha Fusion driver is going to help deliver more accuracy. Obviously, it's a more forgiving driver than previous drivers from Callaway. It's 17% more forgiving than the XR16 driver, which Callaway were touting as one of their most forgiving drivers they've ever made. So for this club to be even more forgiving than that speaks volumes, I think. So there you go. Hopefully this review has given you a pretty good insight into how this driver performs. It feels absolutely fantastic. It's a very forgiving club. It should help you find more fairways, which for me is far more important than hitting the ball as far as you can. It's going to get you in play in a lot more holes and hopefully help you score a little bit better. Comes out onto retail on the 30th of September, comes in at £369, so some pretty good value for money there given the technology that's on offer. Lots of different lofts available. Of course, go and get custom fitted. That's the only way you're going to really dial in the spec and maximise your potential. Like I said, for me, mine wasn't custom fitted and I got some excellent performance. So if I did get custom fitted, I'd probably get even more distance out of it, which would be even better. So make sure you check it out. The Callaway Big Bertha Fusion driver, well worth a go.